Vacationing on a cruise ship. Is it a dream vacation or an overrated way to travel? The answer is obviously going to be different for everyone. Grace and I have taken 2 cruises. We had a lot of fun on both of them, saw some incredible places, but we haven't booked another cruise in 2 years. So why not? Well, let's explore more. Both of the cruises we took were through the Mediterranean with Norwegian Cruise Line. We're definitely not cruise experts, and we haven't tried every cruise line or every style of cruising, but we've done it twice now, and I think we have a pretty good idea of what we liked about it and what we didn't like, and whether cruising still fits the way we want to travel. So first, why did we try cruising in the first place? Well, at the time, the biggest appeal to us was being able to see a lot of places in one vacation without having to plan all of the transportation ourselves. We hadn't traveled extensively yet, and suddenly we had an easy way to experience different parts of Italy, Greece, Croatia, Malta, and more, all in the same trip. You get on the ship, unpack your suitcase once, sleep in the same bed every night, and while you're sleeping, the ship takes you somewhere completely new. There's something pretty amazing about waking up, looking outside, and realizing you're in another country. And there are definitely things about cruising that we still really enjoy. Our first ship was the Norwegian Gem, and we loved it. It was big enough to have plenty of restaurants, bars, and places to hang out, but it never felt overwhelmingly large. We could grab food wherever we wanted, find somewhere outside to sit with a drink, watch the ocean go by, and then wake up the next morning ready to explore somewhere new. And the destinations are obviously a huge part of it. There are places we visited on these cruises that we absolutely loved. Like, number 1 on our list is Dubrovnik, Croatia. This was probably one of the biggest surprises for us. It was beautiful, incredibly interesting to explore, and Croatia immediately became somewhere we knew we wanted to return to for a longer trip. Valetta, Malta would be number 2 on our list. We knew very little about Malta beforehand, and getting that first taste of it made us want to see more. We also loved Naples and the surrounding area in Italy. We toured Pompeii and then walked around Naples, the 3rd biggest city in Italy, and it was wonderful. We also had one of the best pizzas we have ever had, and since Naples is the home of pizza, it makes total sense. Taormina in Sicily was another standout that we loved. We started in Messina, then hired a car to Taormina, which was one of my favorite places I've ever been. The ancient city, the walkable streets, and the views of Mount Etna were fantastic. Corfu, Greece was another stop we enjoyed on our first cruise, where we found a beautiful spot by the water. We visited the old fortress, and we also took a car to a famous winery that was actually mentioned in a James Bond movie. And that is one of the best things about cruising. Even if you only get several hours in a destination, you can discover places you might never have considered visiting otherwise. You also learn which places probably aren't for you. For example, we enjoyed seeing Santorini and Pisa, but based on our experiences there, they aren't places we're rushing back to anytime soon. Our first cruise was almost the perfect storm of everything going right. It was relatively affordable, we liked the size of the ship, it didn't feel overwhelmingly crowded, and we really enjoyed the itinerary. So naturally, we booked another one. But our second cruise felt different almost immediately. For one, it was considerably more expensive, and then we got on the ship and realized just how enormous this ship was. There were more restaurants, activities, and people, and it was harder to navigate and just felt much busier. And that continued when we arrived at the ports. A lot of the destinations were packed. You'd get off one giant cruise ship alongside thousands of other people, sometimes with several other cruise ships arriving at the same time, and suddenly these relatively small destinations were completely overwhelmed. That second cruise made us start thinking differently about the way we travel. We realized that instead of trying to visit 5 or 6 places during one vacation, we increasingly wanted to spend more time in 1 or 2 places. We wanted to wander around without constantly checking the time. We wanted to spend the night, waking up the next morning and continuing to explore. And as we've traveled more, we also became much more comfortable figuring things out for ourselves. Renting a car, taking a train, using buses, staying in different hotels, and navigating a new place doesn't feel nearly as intimidating as it once did. So part of the reason we haven't taken another another cruise is simply that our travel style has changed. We like slower travel now. We'd rather experience fewer places in more depth. And the other part of it is cost. Cruises have become much more expensive, and the industry continues moving forward toward increasingly large ships carrying thousands of passengers. For some people, that's exactly what makes cruising exciting, but for us, it isn't necessarily what we're looking for right now. But does that mean we're done cruising forever? Definitely not. We would absolutely take another cruise under the right circumstances. For example, we'd like to try Virgin Voyages at some point, and we'd probably choose an itinerary that is very different from the Mediterranean cruises we've already done. Maybe Alaska, maybe the Caribbean, maybe somewhere completely different to give us a taste of that area. But we're not in a rush right now. And if you've never been on a cruise and are wondering whether you should try one, I think it really comes down to what you want from a vacation. Cruising would be perfect for you if you want to see several destinations in one trip, you like having most of the logistics handled for you, and you enjoy the resort experience of having restaurants, entertainment, and activities right where you're staying. It can also be a fantastic introduction to international travel if the idea of independently organizing transportation between several countries feels overwhelming. But if you prefer traveling slowly, exploring without a schedule, staying several days in one place, or getting away from large crowds, you might find some of the same limitations that we did. For us, cruising was actually really valuable because it helped us figure out what kind of travelers we wanted to become. We don't regret either cruise. We had some incredible experiences, discovered places we absolutely want to return to, and made a lot of great memories. But right now, we're enjoying traveling a little slower, and maybe eventually cruising will fit into that again. If you're new to watching our videos, thanks for watching. We're Darcy and Grace, and we love to travel. We're always working to find more freedom in our life after being full-time freelancers who founded their own marketing agency. We might not have a cruise video coming soon, but we've recently traveled to Mexico, Panama, Eastern Canada, Midwest United States, and we're heading to England and Ireland soon. We love it if you could hit subscribe and follow along with our journeys. We're going to have some exciting content coming soon.